Hey YouTube, this is Fat to Fit here with another exciting video. Well, exciting and it's kind of scary. Got right here the dreaded blood test. When you get over 40, well hell, when you get over 30 it seems like these days, you gotta start looking at your lipid levels, your liver enzymes, your sodiums, your potassiums. These are all kind of things that you need to keep an eye on. And it's more important, I think it's more important, not less important, if you're not exercising and eating right. But if you are exercising and eating right, it's not a magic pill. Certain genetic factors, your body metabolizing this and that, different functions going on in the body that are important to monitor. So it's important. Wellness visits are important. Yearly checkups are important. Blood tests important. So here is the blood test. So here's what the doctor says. Your cholesterol levels are normal. Your blood counts, blood glucose, diabetes test, kidney function test, electrolytes, sodium, potassium, calcium, liver tests, and thyroid level are all normal. A slightly elevated bilirubin is not clinically significant. So I was checking that out. Bilirubin is something that's usually absorbed by your liver, but when I was checking it, my level was just slightly higher than the test reference level. And when I was checking it out, a lot of times it's affected by, well, the doctor says it's not important, but I checked it out anyways. Don't assume your doctor is going to always give you the best advice. Check it out too. There's this thing called the internet. If you're not sure, bilirubin levels can be affected by two things, and I think they're important here. High stress levels, high exercise, strenuous exercise. I think I do a little bit of that. That day, the day of the blood test even, I went on a 11-mile run, ending at the clinic to get my blood test. I even asked them, hey, is this a problem? I just ran 11 miles. They were like, nah, it shouldn't affect it. And so the strenuous exercise or stress, that they can be considered to be one and together. And the other factor is being a little dehydrated, which is, I don't know, when you're exercising a lot, do you ever get enough? It's something to keep an eye on. People talk about you need to drink. That's an interesting subject, and I'm glad that I brought it up. Some people say you should drink a gallon of water. Other people say you should urinate a half-gallon of water a day. I mean, just keep drinking, friends. Make sure there's something a little in there, too. Not just water. Make sure there's electrolytes in there. A little bit of sucrose, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, potassium, things like that. I mean, you can go with sports drinks. I guess those are all right. I'm not a big fan of those, just because they look so fake. So sometimes I'll just make a little cocktail. It'll have everything I want. I eat a lot of bananas, so I think the potassium part's pretty good. I drink a lot of water. I sweat quite a bit, so I don't really eat a lot of salty foods. My sodium level on here was 144, and the test high end was 148. So I'm assuming whatever I'm doing, I'm getting enough. You're never going to sweat all of that sodium out. I mean, that's what you worry about. You get the salty residue on your shirt, and you're like, oh my god, geez, all my salt is gone. Well, you get it just from about everything. You do want to avoid foods that are really high in added salt, like your ramen noodles that have a couple thousand milligrams of salt. Don't do it. I do have, if you check out my Instagram page, Fat to Fit for sure, I do have a faux soup, FAUXFHO, faux soup, that has hardly any salt added at all, and it's all veggie. No weird, unidentified Vietnamese meats added to it. So it's really yummy. It's not the same, of course. You do have to add soy sauce and hot sauce. Both those things have salt. And I get the super low sodium soy sauce. And then I add yeast nutrient. It's got kind of a twang to it, so you don't want to be too heavy-handed with it. And then you just add the veggies that you want in there on top, and some vermicelli, and it's just like you're eating pho. It's just not the same. I mean, there's a lot of things like this. There's like some of these fake cheeses, these dairy-free cheeses. Makes an awesome cheese, where most of the flavor comes from peas, and it's just awesome. This jalapeno and Havarti style cheese. I'm a big fan. I did not get paid to say that, but I'm a huge fan of that style of food product. I wouldn't call it cheese. When you call it cheese, you set yourself up for something, I think. It's going to taste just like cheese, and it's not. It's going to have just the same consistency as cheese, and it's not. So those things to think about. That was kind of a side. So, got off the rails there a little bit. But one thing I really wanted to stress in this is 3 years ago I had blood tests done. And my doctor is pretty cool. He's a cyclist, and he's super fit. And he was always telling me to lose weight, which I did, 60 pounds, 70 pounds. I mean, I've had lost 70, and now I've gained some muscle, so I've gained some of that back. So I call it 60 pounds. Let's call it 60 pounds. And that's a pretty significant amount. And that's with a lot of diet, eating the right foods diet, and doing the right exercises. You know, a minimum of 30 sustained minutes every time, every day, 5 to 6 days a week. I usually do just one day off of recovery day. So it sounds dead simple, and it really is. You just got to commit to it. There's always an excuse. Today I was getting ready for a bike ride, and it was like, I started getting ready at about 10, and I'd leave till noon, and it was like, am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? And I always get pumped when I'm on the road, and I'm like, okay, there's no going back. You're out, you know what I mean? You've got to go out to whatever point you pre-designated. That's important. If you're going to ride, don't just go friggin' willy-nilly or whatever. You can do that. I just make sure you have enough time, make sure you have enough provisions. Do you have water? Do you have the right foods that are going to give you energy if you end up way out in the middle of nowhere? And a cell phone. Cell phone, bring it with you. Navigation, you're going to need it. Okay, that was a diversion. So, my doctor was talking about before, 3 years ago, that pretty soon I'm on high blood pressure medicine because it's genetic. It's a predisposition thing. I'm on a quarter of what I would originally. So that, you know, after losing all that weight and everything, I went to the doctor because I felt dizzy all the time. It was like, weird, what's going on? And he's like, you're getting too much of this medicine now because you've lost weight. Your blood pressure has gone down because of that. So he reduced the total amount of it. And I feel good about that because those medicines, like Lipitor, I was on a generic Lipitor, and those can mess with your liver. So, you know, taking too much medicine, although it helps with one thing, can cause problems in another area. So, ideally, to be on as little medicine as possible, you know, until that time comes when we're all on, 10 different freaking meds. You want to do that. Extend your life out. I think so, anyways. This blood test is not proof of anything other than these are the values that the test I just took. So I wanted to touch on the point where the doctor said, okay, your blood pressure is high. Your cholesterol is also at a level where pretty soon we're going to have to get you on a medicine that will lower your cholesterol. Your triglycerides are high. Your LDL cholesterol is high. And the combos were high. So this time around, triglycerides were 85 with a high of 200. Total cholesterol was 183 with a high of 240. HDL was 64. It doesn't say a high for that. LDL cholesterol was 102, which is with a high of 130. And so those are all like numbers that were actually like saying, hey, you don't need to worry about that medicine now. You don't need to worry about that, taking that medicine, because whatever you did, and who's to say whether it was just losing weight? Maybe if I just lost weight and I still just ate meat and animal products, who's to say that? I mean, what I'm saying is this isn't definitive. This is my opinion. But atherosclerosis, which is a condition that when your blood or the fats in your blood, the bad cholesterol becomes plaque inside your arteries and it makes the valves less flexible. heart attacks because it's caused by cholesterol. And so if you reduce the total amount of cholesterol in your body, and the major contributors to cholesterol are meats and animal products. Red meat, every kind of meat has cholesterol, but red meat is super high. Pork is super high. A lot of fishes that are, that people say are great, they're really high in cholesterol. If they're fatty, if they're good, according to whoever decides that, that's more often than not because there's a lot of cholesterol there. So if you reduce that, by not eating those things, you would say that reducing it was a matter of not eating those things, right? Because veggies don't have a lot of fat in them. Certain things do, like avocados have fat in them. They say that's good fat, but if you eat too much, how much of good fat do you need to eat before it becomes not good for you? I don't know, I'm not a dietitian. But cooking oils that are vegetarian or vegan, how much of that do you need to get before that increases your cholesterol to a certain level? I don't know. Once again, I'm not a dietitian, but if you reduce the total numbers, I think that makes a big difference. So I guess my point of this video is that it's a combination of things, I feel, that have reduced these levels so that I don't have to be on more blood pressure medicine than I am now, which is a quarter of what the original prescription was. And I don't have to be on cholesterol regulating drugs so that reduce the possibility that plaque atherosclerosis, plaque forming on the inside of my arteries, could lead to a heart attack. Now that's a thing in my family. Both sides, mom and dad side, both have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. So I was like, oh, what can I do? What can I do? And this is what I've done. Not to say that that's the end-all and be-all, but I think being on a vegan diet definitively proves that since you have less possibility for those cholesterol, fats, you know what I mean? There's less chance that unless your body's just ready to produce and store fat, I think you're doing better, and I think this proves I feel it proves that that's happened. So, till next time, please subscribe. Please. Still have 8 subscribers. I don't know, I need to put some fancy writing on my fancy thumbnails or something. I don't know. I'm probably never gonna do that. I'm all about what I'm doing, not what the editing's doing or whatever. So, peace, YouTube.